Hi, my name is Natasha and I'm the head of nutrition at Stride. So, your DNA methylation profile results are back, and I bet you can't wait to dive into the detail and start implementing all the ways to improve your health. Your one-to-one consultation with your dietitian is going to help you decipher the report, and you'll come away with lots of actionable steps to support your methylation and overall health. Until then, if you're wondering how to navigate through the report and are hoping to get started on something, I'm here to briefly walk you through the report to show you where to get started and what to focus on. So at the top of the report, if you're looking for a reminder at what methylation is, that can be found here. And it can be a difficult concept to wrap your head around, but essentially, methylation is a process that occurs billions of times every second throughout our bodies and regulates everything from our gene expression and energy production to fat metabolism, protein function, neurotransmitter function, detoxification, our immune system, and our cellular health. So it plays a really significant role in our overall health, our fertility, and how our body ages. And our genes play a huge role in how well our body methylates. And remember that whilst your genes can't change, you can understand your genetic predispositions for methylation. And once you know that, you can use that information to tweak your diet, lifestyle, and supplements to support methylation and therefore your overall health. So it's great that you've done this test and you have this data to work with now. So you can read more about the genes of methylation in this part here. And then over here, you've got a glossary because there'll be loads of new terms, I'm sure, here. So you can just keep coming back to this if you forget what anything means. So onto methylation then, what actually is it? It's made up of 5 different cycles: the folate cycle, the methionine cycle, the transsulfuration pathway, the BH4 cycle, and the urea cycle. So we've analyzed your genes for each of these cycles and created a report for each of them. So whilst these names might not mean very much to you at the moment, each of these reports will take you through what the cycle is, why it matters, and what you can do to optimize your cycle based off your unique physiology. As a headline in each report, you can see what your overall efficiency is for each cycle. So my folate cycle, for example, has a moderate efficiency. My methionine cycle has an impaired efficiency, which means it might need a little bit more attention. But let's take a deeper look at the folate cycle just as an example. So on the top left, you can see these are some of the key areas that the folate cycle influences in terms of our health. So for the folate cycle, we're really thinking about fertility, pregnancy, energy production, inflammation, and DNA synthesis and repair, which ultimately influences your age and longevity too. So for those of you who love the science, there's loads of information here about the genes and what they all mean. And then in this section here, in your genetic results, you can see which genes we actually tested for this cycle and your individual results. But what does this actually mean? So if we scroll down, here you've got some specific gene advice. And in this section, we have personalized recommendations for you based off your genetic makeup. And then below that, in the advice for you section, we've just highlighted some key areas for you to focus on. So that's the folate cycle, and you can take a look at the next cycle and just scroll through each of these and have a look at the insights for each of those cycles. Hopefully that was a helpful introduction to your methylation report whilst you get familiar with the platform. And don't forget to book in a consultation with our team of dietitians if you haven't already for a more in-depth dive into your results to find out what you can do to optimize your methylation and health for the better.